Hello everybody, my name is Bilicki. I'm a trainer here at PG&E at Livermore. Today we're going to talk about stretching. So our objective today about stretching is stretch, demonstrate, and apply. So before we talk about stretching, actually, let's talk about the muscles that we stretch. So can anybody in here tell me what a muscle is? Ken?
I believe it's fibers, tissue.
Absolutely, it's fibers and also a cell. And think of a rubber band. So a rubber band will contract and it'll expand. So if we were to have a rubber band in the cold and to pull it out as fast as we could, what do you think would happen? George?
It would probably damage it or break it.
Absolutely. That could be, a tear, a pull, or a rip, and that's something we don't want to do. So with that being said, a muscle is made up out of fibers and cells, and the reason why we want to stretch is so we can take care of that stuff. So let's talk about why we want to stretch. The reason why we want to stretch is to have less prone to be injured at work. We want to be able to play at home, and if we have grandchildren or kids of ourselves, we'd like to be able to hang out with them and be able to do it without being hurt. So with that being said, let's going to start off some stretches. And before we start off that, is there anybody here that has any disabilities or cannot apply any stretching right now? No? Good. Okay, so if we can, let's get everybody to stand up. So we're going to have a few stretches here where I'm going to do it and demonstrate it, and then we're going to have some stretches where I'm going to tell you and then you guys are going to demonstrate it. So this first one we're going to do a front stretch, which would be our lower extremity, which is like our stomach and our back. So this first one I'm going to show you guys how to do it, and then you guys are going to apply it. So your feet are going to be about shoulder width apart, and you're just going to bend forward like this. And you're just going to go to almost like a neutral position where you kind of feel a stretching of your lower back and hold it for about 30 seconds and come back. But today, since we're in a time constraint, we're only going to do about 10 seconds and come back to a neutral position. And this, where I'm standing right now, would be a neutral position. So does anybody understand what I just said right now and can demonstrate?
So when we go down, should we stay in one spot, or should we kind of bounce back and forth?
What do you think, George?
We'll probably stay in one spot just so we didn't, injure something.
Absolutely.
Sure, yeah.
Yes. So think of a rubber band. Say we took a rubber band and we just stretched it out to the end and we started going like this to it. What do you think would happen, Katie?
I think it would really start to kind of rip.
Absolutely.
Pieces into
Possibly
that
break.
rubber band, yeah.
That's why we don't bounce and we just hold it for 30 seconds to where it's where we feel it, but we don't want to overextend it. Okay. Great question, George. So you guys ready? Okay. So feet apart, and just slowly go forward to about 90 degrees from the ground, and then hold it. So Maria, how long will we hold our stretch for?
10 seconds?
No. Close.
30 seconds.
Yes, there we go. Yes, 30 seconds. But today, since we're a little bit time constraint, we're going to do about 10 seconds. So everybody up to the neutral position. Very good. So this next one is going to be like a stomach back. So we're going to have our hands on our sides, and I'm going to do it first, and then you guys will apply. So I'm going to just come back here, not very far, just to where you feel it, and we're going to go to like a position where we feel it, but not to where it hurts, correct?
What muscle is this?
This would be your lower back right here.
Lower back?
Yes. So I just demonstrated that, so everybody, hands on your hips, and just slightly move back. Very good. Back to a neutral position. So this next one, we're going to go with the neck. I'm going to demonstrate, and then you guys will apply. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my head, and I'm going to look down, and I'm going to feel, what am I looking for, Ken? How much pressure?
Just till you feel the pull. You don't want to have it hurt. You just want to
Absolutely,
feel a little
yes.
pull.
And then back to a neutral position. So can we get everybody to go ahead and look down? Nice. Back to that neutral position. So this next one, we're going to go back. So we're going to look up at the sky. We don't want to overextend ourselves because it's very possible to lose our balance. And so we just want to go to where we feel it and hold it. And how long are we holding it for?
30
10
seconds.
seconds.
Yes, 30 seconds. And then back. Okay, go ahead and apply. Nice. So Al, what kind of stretch would you say that would apply to?
Neck and shoulder.
Yes, neck and shoulder. What do you do for work, Al?
I'm an instructor at the PG&E Gas Academy.
Do you think this would apply for anything that you do for work?
Every day we do a lot of physical training.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so this one, we're gonna stretch and I'm gonna demonstrate and we're gonna do it together. So everybody stick out your right arm, take your right hand and point it down, then take your left hand, apply on it, and slightly put some pressure onto it. And you're gonna wanna just go down a little bit to where we feel it. And how long are we gonna hold it for?
30 seconds.
All right, very good. Okay, back to neutral position. And then take our hand and now we're gonna point our fingers up. And we're gonna, with our left hand again, we're gonna pull back. And how far do we wanna pull it back, Katie?
Just until we feel pressure.
Absolutely. Okay, back to neutral position. Shake it out. Now left hand, up. Ken, what are we going to get to do?
Now we're gonna drop our wrist, and we're gonna grab our left wrist with our right hand, put a slight pull on it to feel just a little pull, a little tension, but no pain.
Excellent, very
Hold that
good,
for 30 seconds,
very nice.
and then we can release.
And then back to neutral position. And then next stretch would be what now?
We're gonna go up with our wrist and then pull back on our fingertips.
Very nice, very nice, yes. So George, what do you think this stretch is?
Wrist and forearms.
Wrist and forearms, absolutely. Neutral position. Okay, so this next one, we're going to take our right arm, and again, we're going to demonstrate and talk and do it together. Take our right arm and apply it across our chest. Left elbow on left hand on our right elbow, and slightly pull in. And we're going to want to take it how far in? Maria?
Just enough till you feel pressure, but no pain.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. And how long we want to hold it for, Ken?
30 seconds.
That's right. So relax. Left arm across your chest. Right hand on our left elbow. And slightly pull. George, what kind of work do you do?
I kind of hold for PG.
Oh, so do you think this type of stretching would help at all?
Yeah, our body definitely need to have it stretched out.
Excellent. And relax. And Ken, what stretching do you think this would do? What part of the body do you think it would work?
I think that's my shoulder and kind of the lats in through here.
Yes, shoulder and lat. All right. So, yes, sir.
Can I ask when would be a good time to do this? Would it be like just before you get to work, or when you wake up in the morning, or at night? What would be a better?
What do you think, Katie?
I think that probably before work, maybe that way you're nice and warmed up before you're actually starting to do your physical job.
Great answer. Not only before work, but at any time you were to do a physical activity is a good time to stretch, especially when it's cold. Yes, thank you for that answer. Good question. Okay, so now let's take our left arm and up over our head, and our right hand applied on our elbow, and slightly pull. So we hold for 30 seconds, but in this case we'll be for about 10. Back to neutral position. And let's reverse it. Our right arm over our head, left hand on the elbow, and pull. Nice, neutral position. And what muscle do you think that would be stretching out, Al?
Bicep and whatever the one back here.
Tricep? Tricep? And what else did you say?
Your bicep.
bicep lat.
Yeah, that.
Yes. Okay, so with that being said, let's take our arms out. This is going to be another demonstration where we do it all together. Hands out, and then slightly forward, go with small circles to big circles. Back to neutral position. Let's do small circles backwards to big circles. Now this isn't necessarily a stretch, it's more of a blood circulation. After we stretched out our muscles a little bit, get some muscle, some blood back into our upper extremities that we just stretched. So, can anybody tell me why I started off with the upper body? George?
So we're stretched out before we start doing our lower body in case something happens maybe?
Absolutely, yes. Perfect answer, exactly. Okay, so now that we're warmed up a little bit and we did our upper extremities, let's touch bases with some hamstrings. We'll go to lower extremities. Okay, so this one I'm going to demonstrate first, and then I'm going to have you guys apply. So watch me. So I'm going to stand in up front, and I'm going to have my legs about shoulder width, and I'm slowly going to bend over and lean as much as possible and try and touch my toes. If I can't touch my toes, that's okay. We're just going to go to where we feel it, but we don't want to overextend it. And then back up to a neutral position. So, let me see you guys apply it. Nice. Back up to neutral position. So Maria, what would you say where would you feel that at in your body?
Lower back.
Yeah, lower back and hamstrings. Yes. And this could be, just not for physical activity jobs. This could be just at home. You can do this for walking and just to be a more flexible person. So next one, we're going to go with calves. So I'm going to demonstrate, and then you guys are going to apply it. So we're going to go ahead and stick out our right leg first, and then I'm going to take my toes, and I'm going to point up into the air, and I'm going to slowly bend over. And this is something what we call a three-point bridge, where if you had a little bit of problems getting up or getting down, you could slowly just take your hands and make that three-point contact, so you're supporting yourself as you're going up and as you're coming down. So you're going to raise your toes, you're going to reach over to your toes, and you're going to grab them and slightly pull up. And
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah. And we're going to pull up for how hard?
Just you feel a stretch.
Exactly, till we feel a stretch. And for how long?
30 seconds.
That's right. Okay, let's see everybody do that. So your right leg forward. Pointing up those toes, and then grabbing them. Excellent. How does that feel?
Good.
Tight? Loose?
Not too bad.
Not too bad? Excellent. And everybody back up to neutral position. So we're going to do this all together, the next leg. So we're going to take our left leg, and we're going to stick it out, and then what are we going to do, Al?
We're going to reach down, grab our toe, and pull back.
Before we reach down and grab our toes.
We're going to press our leg as we go down.
And anybody want to help him one more before that? Ken?
You gotta point your toe up first and your heel on the ground.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Ken.
And then reach and grab your toe.
Okay, point your toe, bend on down, you build that bridge if you have to, grab your toes and pull up. Very nice. And neutral position. So, Katie, what do you think that worked?
And those are calves.
Yes, calf. Exactly right. A little bit of hamstring too. Okay, so this next one we're going to go on to our groin. And we could do this all together because I could look up and watch everybody. So we're going to take our legs and slightly put them apart about, say, 6 inches past our shoulders. And then we're going to bend over and build that bridge. And then slightly go to one side. So let's all go to our right. And as we go to our right, you're going to want to feel that pull of the inside, which would be your groin. Everybody feel that? Yeah? And back up. And then back to a 3-point, and then to your left. And back up, and neutral position. So I'm going to do a little demonstration of a stretch that we can take to the next level. I'm not going to have you guys do it. It's just something that will be on a handout that I pass out later on. So people that want to get a little bit more in depth into stretching that groin, you're going to want to build that bridge, and you just want to come all the way back to almost putting your bottom to the ground, and then to work your hamstring with, or your calf, your hamstring with your groin. You can go ahead and take your toes and point them up. So this would be like the next level of stretching upon the stretches that we're learning right now. And you can just come back to a neutral position and go right back to the other side. And how long would I hold this for, Maria?
30 seconds.
30 seconds, that's right. All right. So, George, can you tell me a stretch that we learned today and what body part we used it for?
Yeah, we did our forearm and wrist stretches,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And how would you apply that at work?
We do work all the time with our for our arms and shoulders and things.
So a lot
like
of
that,
tools and
so
stuff,
absolutely.
twisting.
Turning wrenches and
Right. Very nice. Ken, how about you?
Oh, yeah, the lower back one and the hamstring is one that's good for me. Do a lot of
Okay.
reaching and lifting and,
On your knees a lot?
yeah,
Yeah.
and up and down the ladder, bending over. That's very good.
Excellent. And Al, how about you?
I'd say the stretching of the arms.
Stretching the
We're
arms.
always working with our arms and wrists and everything.
Excellent. And Katie?
I like the arm circles because I'm an instructor and people are sitting down writing a lot, so it's a good way to get blood flowing.
There you go,
get people
absolutely.
back alert.
Yes. And how about you, Maria?
I'd say the neck stretches.
Neck
if
stretches?
I'm at the desk all day and I
Right.
do tend to lean forward and I can really see that helping.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so here's a few little pieces of paper of the muscles and what we worked today. Here's just like the
Yeah.
analogy of the anatomy of the human body. So, how many stretches do you think we did today, Ken?
Well, I know it's a lot more than it looks like on there because we did 2 of each one, so I'm gonna guess, I don't know, 15?
Very close. We actually did 20 stretches today. And the good thing at PG&E is we're advocating to stretching to keep our employees healthier, and not healthier just at work, but healthier at home. And with these simple little stretches, 20 stretches, and you held them for how long?
30 seconds.
Would be a total of 600 seconds, and you divide that by 60, it'd be only 10 minutes. So 10 minutes of stretching, what the company's paying us for, not only will give us longevity of work, but also a healthier life living at home, and playing with our toys that we work so hard for, and grandkids and kids. So also here's some handouts, and these handouts are going to be the stretches that we worked on today, and here's a website too on the stretches that we learned. So if you would like to go a little bit further on stretching and taking it to the next level to get really flexible, they're on there. What's really cool about this website is they step-by-step process. So exactly how I was showing you how to do stretches, it's going to do stretches to the next level on top of what we just learned. So this concludes on how to do some effective stretching. So does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, so we can do these like you said in the morning, and then do you recommend that we do them like when we come back from lunch and things like that before we get going again?
What do you think, Al?
I think we do stretch and flex whenever we're going to start an evolution.
Absolutely.
We stop
Yep.
for lunch or something, we should warm it up before we start again.
Absolutely. Yes. To answer your question, we could do it before a physical activity, or even when we just not fit, when we're feeling a little bit down and we want to get some blood flowing, or we're feeling tired. That'll get the blood going back to your body and get you woken up. Any more questions?
So even if I'm sitting at my desk and I'm doing some stretches, it still would be beneficial to get up and do.
Absolutely.
during the day?
Well, nowadays, you know, they have desks that are up raising. You know, you can actually be typing and take a little micro break, you know, and do this right here. And as you're doing this, you can do 2 stretches at one time. So you can actually be doing your wrist, you know, going up and down and doing some calf raises. And that's a stretch. Just simple, effective stretches. And again, on that handout that I passed out, that'll go in more depth of you know, stretching and taking it to the next level, and touch on some things that I showed you how, and further and beyond.
Sounds good.
So, any more questions? No? Well, thank you so much for coming here and learning some stretches with myself, and I hope you guys live a healthier life.